you've been practicing law for nearly 20 years. Certainly there are people in Wake County that have been practicing family law for 30, 40 years.
Sure.
How has the law changed in Wake County during your career?
I don't know that the law has changed much. I think the application of the law has changed.
Okay.
I think that gone are the days primarily of lifetime alimony that used to be handed out a lot when I went to the courthouse. Back then there were 2 judges sitting on the bench, and you walked in the door of a 30-year marriage, you pretty much felt that you were going to get lifetime alimony. I think as our judges have become younger, society has leaned more towards retirement and not working till you end up in the grave. I think the judges now think, well, goodness, I'm not going to leave someone on the hook potentially forevermore, because everyone should be able to retire at some point in life. I mean, when I first started, we had cases and where 80-year-old men were still paying alimony, 80-year-old women were still receiving alimony. The pensions were divided on top of that, Social Security benefits were flowing on top of that, and it didn't make really a lot of economic sense, to be honest, anymore. And the person that was paying alimony in that situation would have to go to court to see it modified. Now I see judges doing, on the front end, trying to do alimony to bridge that gap till we get to Social Security age of the pension benefits may kick in or something like that. The law is still the same as it relates to children. There's no presumption as to who's a better parent. But I find that judges are looking more at psychology these days and looking at more of a shared parenting as a starting point rather than a traditional visiting parent that we might have had when I started in the 90s. And then moving towards shared parenting like we used to have. Now people start from the place of shared parenting and move away from that if there are factors that show why they shouldn't do that. And property's been the same. I mean, it's always been a presumptive 50-50 division of property. We don't really see anything different there. What we see now is a lot of different kind of property than we saw in the past. We see a lot of companies getting creative with benefits that we may not have seen in the 90s and even early 2000s. And then certainly after the big collapse of 2008, we see a lot of people's 401ks being 201ks and companies coming up with other ways to try to help their employees with benefits and such. And then with healthcare, you see things now you didn't see before. We didn't know what an HSA account was.
Right.
And so that's an asset that we really try to look for now when we're looking at people's finances is, do they have a high deductible plan? Is there money sitting in an HSA? That can sometimes be thousands of dollars that folks don't even know to look for. But I wouldn't say the law really has changed at all.
Okay.
Just the application of it perhaps, perhaps the notion of what is fair, which is always a fun word to use, because nothing in divorce is fair really, but that's the words that you'll see in our statutes. And being more creative about looking for assets and those types of things.